everybody, it is meteorologist Joe Martucci and Mike McGarry, the king of the cow, joined with us on Zoom today here. We are not at a local high school, but Mike is coming to you from his living room. I am in the office, and we're still dressed in white, Mike, so we still have that good feng shui going.
There you go. And we didn't even talk about that beforehand. We just seem to know what's going on, basically.
Listen, great minds think alike, Mike. Great minds think alike. You know that.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, Nick Cuba is not with us, our sports editor. He had a death in the family, unfortunately. So it is just the two of us. So we're going to do a little bit of everything. We're going to do your kind of first and 10 that Nick and Mike usually do. We'll talk about weather, of course, and weather is looking really good, just as a little tease. But, Mike, let's start off with, I know one game that's pretty big is Cedar Creek at Winslow. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's this Friday night, 7:00 up at Winslow. It's really kind of, I think, the premier game in South Jersey this weekend. Cedar Creek undefeated, Winslow with just one loss. Interesting test for Cedar Creek team. We saw Cedar Creek beat Holy Spirit 7-6 2 weeks ago. Then they come back and beat Oak Crest last week 24-7. We know all about Creek's great players. JoJo Bermudez at wide receiver, Landon Cini at quarterback. CJ Resto leads the defense. So another great test for Cedar Creek this week.
Are any of these Cedar Creek players, do they have any colleges that they're going to play football? Do we know that information yet?
Yeah, well, JoJo Bermudez, obviously a big-time Division I prospect. He committed to Rutgers earlier in the season. Then he decommitted and now is keeping his options open. However, interesting you ask about JoJo. We will have a story online tomorrow and in the paper Friday just talking about JoJo, how his football career started with the old game Rumble Fumble out on the fields of Egg Harbor City. He used to play that growing up with his friends in the Egg Harbor City neighborhoods where he picked up some of his moves. And he had some positive things to say, even though his recruiting is open. He had some positive things to say about Rutgers and their coaches. It wasn't anything against Rutgers. It was more or less just wanting to give himself some more options as the season progressed.
All right. Well, as a Rutgers alum myself, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on the situation. What else are we looking at here? And anyone in our Elite 11 playing that you're most interested in?
Yeah, we got a couple of games closer to home, right? On Friday night, we got Clearview going down to play Mainland Regional at 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. start. I guess Clearview's got to make that long trip from over by the Delaware Bay over to Linwood. They'll be facing a Mainland team that's won 2 in a row and a Mainland team that seems to be hitting its stride with running back Jabril Mason, quarterback Marlon Leslie. Both ran for more than 100 yards as Mainland beat Vineland last week. St. Augustine Prep returns to the field. They'll be going to play Vineland on Friday night, 6:00 game. Matchup of rivals there. St. Augustine and Vineland not too far from each other. Atlantic City tries to get back on the winning track. They lost to Egg Harbor Township last week. They will host Triton, and I think Atlantic City will be honoring their seniors and also holding a youth football night. So that should be a neat event down there on Albany Avenue in the city.
Hey, you say honoring their seniors. Is that the last home game for them?
Possibly.
Oh, okay.
Could possibly regular season game. They might have playoff games. I don't know where the Holy Spirit game is this year, but it's funny you say that. We are getting, my line that I give to Nick Cuba all the time is it gets late early in high school football, and we are getting to the end of that regular season. Regular season ends in October. Playoffs begin the first week in November. The season is rapidly drawing to a close.
It sounds like they don't take a play of the NFL playbook and just keep expanding the season there. I'm thinking it's like October 13th, Mike. You're saying it's the last home game already.
Yeah, no, the playoffs will start and the last football games will actually be played on that first weekend in December. So there's still plenty of playoff action to come and the Thanksgiving games, of course, but the season is rapidly drawing to a close.
Man, so how do you feel now that we're almost drawing to a close? You upset or is this exciting? Where are we at in the Mike McGarry?
I'm excited. Always excited to see the playoffs start. And for us, we've still got a lot of games to go. So some teams their seasons might end the first or second week in November. Mine, hopefully, if teams are successful around here, which I believe they will be, will extend out to that first weekend in December.
All right, yeah, we'll take a look at that. And you know what? I would be remiss without saying we got a good number of Saturday games. I feel we have 4, I think, 4 that you showed me. Is that a lot? Usually, we have 1 or 2.
That's a lot for this. The last couple of Saturdays, we've had 1 or 2. And we got a big one this Saturday, too. Over in Camden on Federal Street, home of Woodrow Wilson. We've got Holy Spirit playing against Woodrow Wilson. 1 o'clock start over there in Camden. Should be a great game. Holy Spirit looks to get back on the winning track. 2 weeks ago, they lost to Cedar Creek 7-6. Last week, they were supposed to play St. Augustine. That game was postponed because the Hermits had some COVID issues. It was rescheduled for October 29th. So Holy Spirit has had to sit and sort of stew about that 7-6 loss to Cedar Creek for 2 weeks. And we'll see how motivated the Spartans come out tomorrow against Woodrow Wilson.
We will see. And just tell us, Mike, where are you going to be at over the weekend? And where's the rest of our sports staff going to be at? What games are they covering?
Yeah, I will be at Winslow on Friday night, and I will be in Camden on Saturday. Pat Moran, our other reporter, will be at the Mainland game on Friday night, and he'll be doing some soccer, a different kind of football, as the Kinderland League soccer tournament starts on Saturday. But as we go forward, I've got one question for you. Now, this week, I look out the window here in Howell.
Can't even look.
Look out the window right there. It's been gray this week. It's been rainy since Sunday. It hasn't been uplifting at all. It's been kind of those blah type of days. You know, the weekend is approaching. Are we going to get out of this? What are we going to have this weekend?
Listen, I think Mother Nature took a cue from what you were saying, because we need good weather and we're getting it for Friday, Mike. So here we go. So I looked this up because I said, Friday, my forecast at Atlantic City International Airport, which is our main weather station, looking at 82 degrees. I was like, geez, that feels pretty warm for a Friday. So I looked it up. The last time we were that warm on a Friday, August 27th. So it's the middle of October, and we're going to be as warm as a late August day here for our Friday, Mike. So this will be your warmest high school football, I think, day, right? Because did we have any games on that first Friday?
That might have been the opening day of the season, the 27th. Okay. We might have been at the Battle by the Beach over there in Ocean City. In fact, I think we were at 11 a.m. It was a steamer that day. St. Joe played Northeast Philadelphia. It was really hot. Then we had pouring rain. It kind of cooled off a little bit, but that is interesting. So t-shirt weather for Friday night in Winslow Township.
Absolutely. And just looking at all the other games, Mike, we have that 6 o'clock kickoff, 7 o'clock kickoffs for the most part here. I think temps around then are going to be in the mid 70s. And then we fall into the upper 60s by the end of the game. So, I mean, you really can't ask for much more. We're getting rid of these clouds. We're saying hello to the sun and, of course, that clear sky as we go into the night. And winds are going to be pretty light, too. I mean, the only thing I'm seeing is a light south wind. But honestly, Mike, you could be sitting there or standing there, I should say, and not even the page of your notebook's even crinkling a little bit. It could be that calm. So I think it's a really good day for you.
I love the calm weather. I don't mind the rain. The rain is a little bit of a problem, but wind bothers me because, again, the stats, the papers, everything blowing all over. So no wind is good. What do we got on Saturday, especially over by Camden way?
Yeah, a little bit of a different story Saturday. So especially for you, because you don't like the wind, winds are coming back on Saturday. We're actually going to be from the southwest 10 to 15 miles an hour. But actually for those kicks, and I'm looking here, we got kickoffs between 11 a.m. to 1. I mean, you're talking about temperatures that will be probably in the mid to upper 70s, not even 80 degrees. So it's going to be pretty bright. It's going to be pretty warm, but it will be a little bit windy too, Mike. So can't win them all this time.
Can't have everything, can you?
Can't have it. Well, for you, Mike, I try to do my best, but I come up short every once in a while. So that's what we got with the weather, Mike. Anything else you want to add here before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's about it. Another exciting week of high school football. I think 3 more weeks left in that regular season, and then we start the playoffs. So things are really drawing to a close.
And I'd be remiss without saying that we couldn't do this without Oakcrest boys soccer. And we have to give a big shout out here to sophomore Steph Ganitz this week, because he had 2 goals last week against Holy Spirit, and he is their player of the week. So if you want to check them out on Snap Rates, they're selling all kinds of gear and merch. And if you're an 8th grader, you could check them out at GEHRHSD.net. That's GEHRHSD.net. He's Mike McGarry. I'm Joe Martucci. We will be back in person next week. We're saying fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll be back in person for another week of high school football. But Mike, enjoy the warm weather. I know you got a little bit of wind, but I think all in all, for it being mid-October, I think we're doing quite nice here over the next couple of days.
Absolutely. We'll take it. 3 weeks left in the regular season. Should be a great weekend, and we'll definitely be back in person next week to reunite the band back together.
Band coming back together. All right, Mike, it was good seeing you on Zoom. It was good talking to everybody here. We'll be back with you again next week, and go to pressfac.com/sports for everything high school football.